Hello and welcome to the Healer's Commentary. Spells and gameplay with a casting of thoughts, critique, and advice. My name is BlueGhost75. I'm going to do a post-commentary, not going to bother trying to do it live and trying to balance out doing all of these spells and everything like that. So I'm going to try out this format. I'm going to do a round of Duel in this video, and then a round of Duel, a round of Wizard Warfare, and then I'll open the daily chest at the end of this video. So just kind of talk about whatever while the video plays, so just whatever happens, I can just focus on talking, while me in the video was focused on playing the game, so just trying to talk about stuff and do like that, where even when I'm not talking in the video, I'm still getting my butt handed to me by this guy, who has an affinity in fire, I think just as much as I do in life. The thing about having life affinity in dual modes, where you have less affinity in shield to balance it out. So I don't really have a weakness to anything, it's just that I can't really protect against more advanced players, because I found the most difficulty from trying to protect myself against multiple elements at once. Somebody who throws a rock that's on fire that has the depth to it. Which one do I block? The fire one so I don't catch on fire? The death one so I don't take more damage? Things like that, just trying to... This is basically just a warm-up round, but I'm just trying to get myself greased up, and I went with round mode, just dual mode I mean, in order to just kind of work on my reflexes, just kind of react better to other people, because you can't really spend the entire time just healing people all the time like you can with medics and healers in other games. It doesn't really work, you don't really get reward by it, especially where there's friendly fire enabled in this game, so you do kind of have to look out for yourself. More so in this match, in this game. However, the trade-off is that everybody has arguably the same powers, where you can increase the power, you lose power in return. So where I can heal myself really well, I can't protect myself very well, but I can still deal decent fire damage, decent water crowd control, or frost crowd control. Just I can still work on other things. It's not like I'm limited in my scope. It's not like I just have a staff that only deals ice damage. I can still do everything. It's just that I'm a little bit better at something at the cost of being worse at something, or being more exposed to it. So where this guy was better at dealing fire damage, I had to make sure not to get caught by fire too much. So I was just trying to look at what spells he had. If you're looking at this in HD, you can kind of see the little spinny things around his head. That shows what spells he has. And what you saw with Death there, you can block their damage by having the Earth Ward, where the Scythe is... I don't know about Death's Scythe, but the Scythe is a weapon and an earthly material. So Earth Wards can block some damage, but where Death is a supernatural being, he still deals a lot of damage. Doesn't block it entirely. I think this happened one time. I used Revive on myself while Death was coming. And when I did it, I don't know if I either blocked damage or if I countered Death by using Life. Either sent him away, but I did manage to get this guy here, so it's 1-to-1. He got me by just dealing too much damage that I could heal in return. So 1-to-1, so I'm just trying to keep an eye on my wards, what spells he has. So seeing fire or rocks, so I can't really just protect against both elements, because I'm arguably less effective at both than if I were to just focus on one. So I'm just trying to go all out on one ward, rather than just go half on two wards, because I don't think that really works in my stance. For others, yeah, sure, especially for protector kind of setups. But him with the healing wards going on, I don't really think that works all that well, because the life ward looks like it works pretty well. However, wards block their respective elements. So you have death wards, it blocks death damage. You have fire wards, blocks fire damage. Life wards block life, quote-unquote, damage. So that really does, well, in warfare mode, if my allies are using it, then I can't really do anything to help them. Help them deal damage, but that's about it. But I see them about to die. They still got their life wards on. I can't help them. But I'm just trying to mix it up as much as I can. Just try to keep him on his toes by mixing up as much as I can. Because I was trying to reach him, but his shield was blocking my beams. So I tried doing area spells like Death, because I think it does go through walls. And especially in this round here, I believe, he does tend to go on the defensive, and it's just me just trying to react to his spells and just try to deal more damage to him than I can take. So I can heal the damage pretty quickly as long as I have time to do them. If he's using crowd control, frost, water, or earth, because if you used earth, like here, you can knock the guy down if they don't have their earth wars to block it. It is possible to do, is just the most important thing is to be in range. So where he had shields, I just said I have my death spell, so well I can't cast my beam because there's a shield for me, so just try the area. Because it seems to carry through the ground underneath the shield and onto him, but he just tries to avoid me a lot, just trying to... I think he's going for the trying to tire me out, just make me not perform as well, just trying to tire me out, but I'm just trying to think about how am I going to counter him using haste. So I can't really catch up to him, he's fairly on the ball, but it seems that Death can break Earth Wards quite well, because I believe they... No, they don't counter each other, because Lightning counters Earth, but Lightning doesn't break Earth walls. It seems that Death breaks Earth walls the best, it seems. So I'm just trying to use area Death, or Death beams, to break through the walls quicker. Because I tried to use Lightning through the walls, but it didn't seem to work, so I couldn't really work with that. So Fire wasn't really a problem, because I could either use... Well, I didn't really bother with Life Force unless I really needed to use it. Because if it was just a scratch, and he was running around in place, I just cast it real quickly. But where he's got his Life Wards on, I have to continue dealing damage so that he doesn't pick it up any damage that he can heal. So just trying to cast my magic, just trying to keep him on his toes, quite literally, because he's just trying to keep away from me, but it can work out quite well, and then end up working there. So even there's a counter to everything, but this ended up working out quite nicely. It's a great mode to warm up, but this is the competitive mode of the game, I believe. So after this duel mode, I recorded around Wizard Warfare, the main mode of the game that I primarily focus on. And the guy with the shaman robes is quite a character. Pay to win? I don't really think so. This is one of the more balanced games that I've been playing. I think I put 40 hours into this game and I still enjoy it. I just wish I could level up faster, because I think healers, where you get points by capturing or killing and assisting, you don't get points for healing. So I think if I were to go for just a regular old wizard setup, I'd be getting experience faster. But where times where I could be dealing damage or just assisting with kills, I'm healing. And I don't think healing is part of the score system, so I'm not getting as many points as I could have if I was going for a fire build or a death build. Just more damage focused build. And I do like using life, lightning, life, because it gives the area of effect. You can heal multiple people at once. It works really well against imps, but it does, lightning does have that, it kind of stops people for a brief moment. And you do have to be careful about using life mines on your allies, because if they don't have their earth wards on, then the force of the mines will push them away, and it could cancel their attack. So you gotta watch out for that. It's a quick way to heal somebody, but you're kind of better off either just shooting them with a beam, especially if you have healer items on. So I'm able to heal people faster, but I'm just trying to reach a balance of healing my allies and damaging my enemies, that kind of thing. I'm just trying to stay out of the way, but I'm just trying to focus on this and that. And I'm just taking too much damage in this spot here. I can't heal the shaman because he's got his life wards on, and it's fine because if I can't really do anything, so I don't really bother. Sometimes when I see somebody with life wards on, I'll shoot my beam at them anyway, just to illustrate the fact that healing wards block healing. A lot of people don't know that, and unless you go to a tutorial, how else do you know that? I really wish more people knew that. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine, but I don't pick on people about it because, well, there's other things I could be doing anyway. It's not always a life or death situation, so there is that. And there's always something that you can do that's quite a fast-paced game. And I usually just go for life, lightning, life, just to do that. But this guy here just trying to make a getaway. And to counter speed, well, use cold. Cold slows down particles, whereas heat speeds up particles, therefore making them hot. That kind of thing. Science, science, science. Healing everybody up. Just instead of healing one guy and then one guy, I just like using that. It's just shiny colors, dealing with that. However, if you see somebody who's got a status effect, if they're wet or if they're on fire, you can just mix life, water, life, or life, fire, life, and then wait until you see that until you hear that sound out of that sizz noise. Like, if they're wet, you kind of see some black smoke come off them. That means they're dry. Or if they're on fire, you kind of hear like, as you would pour water on fire. And look for steam, I believe it is, or something like that. It's kind of obvious, but if you got good ears, you can hear that and then lay off before you apply the opposite of the effect that they were under. So I'm just trying to stay with my allies, but I'm trying not to just be too passive. If I can, I usually just stay in the back and I'll look out for my allies, but if I can get a hit, if I can throw my axe at people, I do like using the axe because it's quicker than using rocks, because some rocks do take some time to charge up, and I don't always have time to charge up rocks to throw at people, so I usually just throw my axe at normally just imps. It's a quick way of dealing with that. And if you got imps on you, put on your earth ward so that their weapons don't hurt you any. Because I've seen plenty of people get bombarded by imps because they think they're useless, but imps can do some damage if you ignore them. They can kill you, and they will if you let them. You have to have your wards to counter what's going on around you. So those rings, wards, they block damage, so it's quite important to have that on. So I normally just put on my earth wards so that I don't get knocked around. If someone tries pushing water at me, unless it's a magic, it's not going to push me away, it's not going to cancel my spell. Even with frost, I try to, if I believe I'm getting frozen, just try to counter against that, just keep myself on fire, or there's just too much going on, just try to go for an area spell. But that right there, where it was a tight spot for my ally and I, the guy in purple, I decided to use the revive magic to keep us both alive, and it managed to buy us a little bit more time anyway. And I try to stay on the point as much as I can, unless I'm following my allies around. I just try to go for point capture if no one's around. It kind of works like a scale system. If there are 2 people on a point, it captures faster, 3 faster, or 1 not as fast, etc. If there's 1 green and 1 red, no progress is made on the point, but there's 2 green and 1 red, it slowly falls into the green. Or there's 2 red and 1 green, opposite wise. So it's not like games like Team Fortress 2 where if one person gets on the point and there's 5 people in inner team capturing and blocks it. Actually, no. I think Loadout had that system as well. I wonder how Loadout's doing. I think they're going for a PS4 release. I do wish him the best. I just really haven't had much interest in Loadout lately. It's kind of been split between 4.0 and beta 5.0, so I don't know what the hell to cover for that game. I would like to play it again, but the beta, they said like account wipes were possible because beta testing, and you do not progress in that game very well. Like, I don't feel like I'm progressing very much in this game either, but I don't really care because I feel like I've had the power from the beginning. I didn't feel like I had to grind to be more powerful. It wasn't what I had, it wasn't power, it was knowledge. Or knowledge is power, something like that. It's a very skill-based game. I think that's what I enjoy so much about Magicka Wizard Wars, because you have everything at your fingertips. If you want to get better at something, you can get some ropes and items to go into that, but you get weaker at something in return. While you can counter that with having a ward, say if you have a fire item, which I believe makes you weaker against death, just put on your death wards, and that can... So it's not like you're asking for trouble that way. You're able to have a counter to just about everything, which is what I really like about this game, because even if the odds are set against you, you still have a way to work with things. Like with the capture point system in this game. Even if the other team is annihilating you right now, say if it's 50-0, if you can kill everybody before... Well, I don't think it works like that. How it works, as you can see on the screen, there's 2 green points and 1 red point as of recording. If we were to capture all the points, and if we were to kill all the enemies before they could capture a point, the game's over. It doesn't matter how many points are left. Even if we were to all die right now and they were to capture all the points, the match could be over. Which is quite interesting, because the match could be over in 2 minutes, or it could go on for 15. Like, it kind of has that random element to it. Which is it makes the game quite interesting. I'd say the only thing that really needs working on it is just server uptime, because there happen times where I can't get on a game because I play on the US East region, and there have been times where that has been down, but they do fix that. The game is still an open beta though, so I can't really critique that. So they're working on it. It's just that, and just I don't know if it's latency, lag, or it's just distance, because I don't imagine there's a lot of people playing this game right now, especially where it's in beta. There's a bunch of unfinished games out right now. Like, I would love to play Evolve, but $70 Canadian, 70 Canadian dollars for an unfinished game. So I don't know how I feel about that. So ramble, managed to do quite well there, just trying to save my allies, keep them alive. And I'll close out the video by putting in this clip here, just showing the daily chest, see what I got here. And just a little water crystal. Probably once in a while I'll put in the use a key and unlock things as well. But that's pretty much the end of the video and the commentary, so I don't mind making Magicka videos. I'll make them every once in a while. But I will see if I can play some other games too, other than Astronauts. So, yeah, thanks very much for listening. Thanks very much for watching.